being ranked as the #1 quarterback in the nation, Mason Armstrong had a decision to make. He limited schools down to 3 with Stanford, LSU, and USC before eventually deciding he commits to LSU. This team offers elite weapons for Armstrong to throw to and a chance for the playoffs behind a strong season and newly hired head coach Brian Kelly. And we would start behind Jayden Daniels as the backup quarterback, but we would challenge him in the following practices. If you enjoy NCAA 14 content such as Road to Glory, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel and see how far Mason Armstrong could take LSU in his freshman season. We would show our talent in practice as we dime up the defense to Brian Thomas Jr. and use our legs on his long scramble before being tackled down at the 1-yard line. And this impressed our coach enough to give us a shot to challenge Jayden Daniels for the starting spot next week. But for now, we would be forced to watch Jayden Daniels against TCU, but we were down 28-7 as Daniels fails to find a way into the end zone. Daniels and the offense tried to make a comeback, but for some reason he checks it down on 4th and a mile to end this game. And Daniels performed decently as he had a ton of yards but threw 2 picks, and I knew when I became the starter that I could lead the offense to some wins. Due to our successful practice, now we would be in a position battle with Jayden Daniels, and this practice would determine who would become the starter as we start off strong by rolling out and finding Brian Thomas Jr. once again over the middle. And we would solidify the starting job thanks to this pass to Thomas as Brian Kelly was finally comfortable to hand over the reins to us. Our first game as a starter came against UAB at home, and we start off strong by finding Malik Neighbors at the last second, and Mason would take full advantage of the weapons around him as this simple pass to Brian Thomas would end up in over a 40-yard gain as he does all the work after the catch. And we would actually hand it off to Noah Kane to give us an early lead. However, UAB came out swinging as we were down 14-7, but we would fight back with his throw to Jeray Jenkins. But we would shoot ourselves in the foot as Mason makes a freshman mistake and throws this pass directly to the UAB linebacker. Luckily, UAB didn't score on that drive as we had to bounce back as we do so with this pass to Malik Neighbor once again. UAB's defense would hold though as they blanket my receivers and contain the scramble, forcing me to throw it away and attempt a field goal. Their aggressiveness would bite them in the butt as they find a wide open Mason Taylor over the middle who rumbles for a 36-yard gain. And this time we would capitalize on the goal line as we roll out to find Malik Neighbors on the sideline for a touchdown, putting us back in the lead. Mason was finally starting to settle in as his play action allowed for Thomas to break free and we dimed him up. And Mason Taylor found himself wide open once again in the back of the end zone for our second touchdown pass of the game. With so much focus on our offense through the air, I finally had the chance to show off my legs as the end crashed down on the running back and I scampered down the right side for a gain of 18. And we performed the exact same play on the goal line, which allowed me to walk into the end zone. At this point, we were running up the score as this goal line set up as we simply scrambled to the right side for a second rushing touchdown and 4th of the overall game. We would finish our first career game with over 300 passing yards and 4 total touchdowns. And we would continue to sharpen our craft and practice with his throw on the run to Brian Thomas, which led us to veteran starter status on the team already. Our defense somehow let Kent State score first, but this short pass that would have been a first down ends up in a lot more as Beck unlocks his inner beast mode. But on this third down, we had to rely on our legs as nobody was open and we smartly slide down to avoid fumbling the ball. This leads to my favorite target, Malik Neighbors, breaking open on the right side to tie the game. With the option becoming such a vital part of this offense, Brian Kelly allows for me to pull off plays like this to gain momentum. Finally, the main star, Keishon Butte, finds his way into the video as he gets open on the out route and we hit him with precision for a gain of 21. Kent State did not learn about the previous options as they didn't focus on me as I walk into the end zone to tie the game once again. Now in the 4th quarter, we had to lead a clutch drive as time winds down as we scramble to the right, hit Malik Neighbors at the last second, who breaks free down the sideline for a gain of 34. However, we could not get anywhere on the read option as Kent State sent their linebackers on me and we would kick a field goal to escape an upset over Kent State, 20-17. We began SEC play this week, so we had to execute in practice in order to be ready for Auburn at home as we dial in the pocket for this pass to Butte down the seam, and my teammates nominated me as team captain as I earned their trust through my play on the field. Our first SEC game kicks off against Auburn in the rain as we are forced to roll out, but we find Jeray Jenkins in a crowd to convert, and we thread the needle to Brian Thomas in between the corner and safety for 6. But once again, we find ourselves on the goal line as we are forced to roll out as we couldn't find anybody open, but we find our way into the end zone to put us up by 2 scores. Even though it is 3rd and long, we find Keishon Butte, who makes a way to convert off his deep curl route, and this leads to us standing poised in the pocket after rolling out to the right and finding Chris Hilton Jr., who burns the defense as we were absolutely rolling Auburn early. The connection to Chris Hilton would keep on rolling as we find him over the middle to convert on 3rd down. Even though we are a true freshman, we were showing incredible poise by dotting up this SEC defense. Auburn eventually fell asleep as they did not account for my legs, which puts us up by 28. The second half starts off where we left off as we find Brian Thomas Jr. down the right side, and it honestly seems like this Auburn team is back in the Brian Harsin days as they completely left me unattended as we dive across across the pylon to go up by 35. That would be the finishing blow as we close out the blowout, 35-13. Georgia was next on the schedule, so going into this practice, I knew my legs were going to be vital in the hopes of pulling off an upset as we leave my defense in the dust with nice in and out cuts to score from 40 yards out. Traveling to Athens to face off against Georgia would not be easy, but we started off this game by firing Brian Thomas deep over the middle, and Noah Kane would fight for it on the draw, which ties the game at 7. However, Georgia would prove why they are ranked 8th in the nation as they were up 17-7, but we rely on my favorite target Brian Thomas to keep us in the game. That spark would be what we needed as my receivers are finally getting open as Chris Hilton is wide open over the middle and we hit him in stride to put us on the goal line. And I have no idea what this corner decided to do as we scrambled to the right and got in for a touchdown. Now down 17 in the fourth, it seemed unlikely that we would make a comeback, but Malik Neighbors gives us some hope as we find him on the deep seam route. And Brian Thomas springs himself open, but it seems it would be too much too late. Malik is proving himself to be our number one guy by catching this clutch out route with over a minute and a half to go. And Georgia's defense would fall asleep on the outside as they left Ray Jenkins naked down the right side, and we watched a rainbow to him to go down by 3 with a minute left. I have no idea how we got the ball back, but we have 11 seconds to pull off a miracle. But more impossible things have happened as Boutique gives us a chance. We hurry to the line since time stops on a first down, and I scramble for my life from the defense and flip into the end zone to miraculously upset Georgia. That final drive with 11 seconds left sprung us to upset Georgia on the road 35-31, and we finished with our best game of the season with 412 yards and 4 total touchdowns. With that performance bringing us to the top of the Heisman watch through 5 games of the season. But we couldn't be satisfied as we face another SEC foe in Mississippi State this week, and in practice we cork a beautiful ball to Brian Thomas for a score. The excess XP we have gained allows for me to buy this DTM, which allows for max speed, agility, and excel, as well as the chick magnets because chicks do indeed love the long ball. Game 6 will start out pretty easily as we find Ray Jenkins open on the right side, and on the goal line we put our new 99 speed to work as we cut in and out of the defenders to cross the paint and give us the lead. However, our 16th rank was in danger as Mississippi State is up, but we bounced back with his dime to Malik once again. We would drop back to find nobody, but we used our speed to eventually tie this game at 17. And Malik has been on fire as of late as we stand poised in the pocket for once to deliver a strike to him to convert on second down. Brian Kelly would once again call plays to take advantage of my legs as he does here on the goal line to give us the lead once again. Now would be our time to pull away from Mississippi State as this corner for some reason does not tackle Brian Thomas and he rumbles down the sideline for a huge gain. We would deliver an absolute dot as we get hit as we threw, but Chris Hilton Jr. is there on the sideline to hopefully seal this game. And with that score, we would survive against Mississippi State 31-24. If you enjoyed that video, don't forget to leave a like and comment down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new, as next time we will see how far Mason Armstrong can lead the number 12 Tigers as we play Florida next week at home. But until then, I'm out. Peace.